know it's been a long time since I've live streamed. There's a lot I gotta explain, but the whole reason why we're here today is to talk about this new Carnage skin. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what I first reviewed and first said is that this skin is my favorite skin of all time. Mainly because I just love the way it's fluent and the way it looks, and because it's my favorite of all time characters. Carnage. Okay, so to describe what Carnage is, he's a primordial being, symbiotic. Um, Basically, to tell you who Carnage is, I'm gonna have to tell you what the thing is on him. So originally, the symbiote, like Venom, it came from Venom, and there's a new movie coming out which doesn't do it justice at all because originally in the comics, the symbiote on Venom had two hosts, which was Spider-Man and Eddie Brock. And after the symbiote got off of Spider-Man, it ended up creating another symbiote. And it has to have two hosts to replicate. And it created the red symbiote. The red symbiote was trying to find anybody and everybody that could be the perfect candidate. And it ended up finding Cletus Cassidy, which was in an insane asylum. And he ended up calling out to the power, and the power found him, and he ended up getting out and killing more and more people because originally he was a serial killer. So what Carnage could do is completely out of the question what other symbiotes can do. Like, Carnage is a Swiss Army knife. He's got stuff that you've never seen ever before. So if you've seen the movie Venom, it kind of covers Venom pretty well. And if you're gonna see the new movie coming out in October 1st, it is called Let There Be Carnage. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, I highly recommend to watch the movies. It's amazing. But also, so the symbiotes. Let me describe the symbiotes for you. The symbiotes were originally created by a ancient, malevolent, primordial deity named Null. And when the Celestials began their vast plan to evolve the universe, Null, seeing that his kingdom was being touched, basically retaliated against. He constructed an all-black first symbiote and cut off a Celestial's head. Then the other Celestials banned Null along with the severed Celestial head deeper in space. You know, the head he chopped off. After that, he started using the head's cosmic energies as a forge for the symbiotes, where they developed weaknesses of sound and fire. The head would later become interdimensional and crossroads, and it created a laboratory to nowhere. And Noel then embarked on a campaign of genocide against the other gods. When battling them, he crashed on a desolate planet where all black left him and went to Gore. Drawn to his murderous hate, who tried to kill Noel later reawakened and created an army of symbiotes that he used to conquer planets and devour civilizations. And yeah, this is pretty intense, and in the process, establishing the symbiote Imperium, when a dragon-like creature journeyed to the medieval Earth, Thor defeated it, and he and destroyed the connection between Null and the symbiotes. And I can already tell you who that was. That was Grindelwald off of Beowulf. Yes, I know. When I found out, that was crazy. If you've ever watched the animated version of Beowulf, Grindelwald, the son of that golden dragon, which was Angelina Jolie, played by Angelina Jolie, that was actually a symbiote, Grindelwald. It was actually the severed head, but it was like everybody thought in that movie that was her son. No, it was brought here by an alien race, which was Null. Thor defeated it and destroyed the connection between Null and the symbiote. Subsequently, the symbiote hive mind began to explore notions of honor and nobility as they bonded to the benevolent hosts. And that would be Venom and, Carnage and stuff like that. The symbiote subsequently rebelled against their god, imprisoning him at the heart of an artificial planet in the Andromeda Galaxy, which is funny. The Andromeda Galaxy was explained in the Guardians of the Galaxy. And that Andromeda Galaxy, that planet, they called Klyntar, which became their species name. Ashamed of their dark past, the symbiotes desired to spread and maintain peace throughout the cosmos by seeking out worthy hosts from various species in order to create an organization of noble warriors. These altruistic goals were imperfect, as the Klyntar symbiotes could be corrupted by hosts with harmful chemical imbalances or problematic personality attributes, turning them into destructive parasites who would spread lies and disinformation about their own kind in order to make other people's fear and hate the Klyntar species as a whole. The corrupted Klyntar became more widespread than their benevolent counterparts, which is pretty crazy, establishing a spacefaring culture dedicated to infecting and overtaking whole planets and reestablishing the Imperium. These symbiotes forced their hosts to perform death-defying feats in order to feed off the resulting surges of hormones like adrenaline and phenethylamine. These hosts would die quickly, either because of the wear from constant stress and exertion, or as a result of the inherent danger in the stunts performed. Yeah, with everything that they're doing, when the symbiotes are, constructing all that power, they have to fuel up. If you haven't watched Venom yet, if you want to get into symbiotes and Klintars, that's exactly what you need to look up. Because in that process, while Eddie Brock was Venom, Venom would eat off somebody's head and stuff like that. And when he fought cops, he wouldn't do it. He's just like, no, we don't eat good people. But he would literally eat somebody's head off, or their pancreas, organs, any vital organs is like fuel to the tank to them. So while the Klintars, the symbiotes, are attached to their host, they're slowly killing them, which is pretty crazy. I mean, they need each other, One human needs the power, and the symbiote needs the fuel, which is blood, organs, all that kind of stuff. So it's a give kind of relationship when it comes to symbiotes. At some point, it was believed that a symbiote run planet was devoured by Galactus due to their genetic memory. All symbiotes now loathe both Galactus and his former herald, the Silver Surfer, which I think at that point, when the Fantastic Four comes out, that's when, Noel would come out and everything like that, which is going to be pretty cool. But it was later revealed that their loathe for the Silver Surfer was because he had time traveled to a time where the Klyntar were rebelling against Noel, and the Silver Surfer had the god of the symbiotes bleed. A symbiote with a predilection for eating brains, who also captured by the Shi'ar and imprisoned and studied for years until it was released and employed as a Fatorian guard by Gabriel Summers. The corrupted symbiotes had invaded the microverse and tried to absorb the Enigma Force, but they were defeated by the Avatar of the Force after they had caused destructive effects on the world and its people. One member of the symbiote race had revived on the Savage Land, where it remained trapped for years to the point of madness and bonded to Conan, which is pretty crazy, during a confrontation between the Savage Avengers and Cullen Gath, which the Savage Avengers is actually considered as the Dark Avengers right now, which is pretty crazy. If you guys haven't seen Winter Soldier, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, it actually starts out the Dark Avengers in that show. During the Kree Skrull War, though, the Kree wanting to replicate the Skrull's shape-shifting abilities, they acquired a newborn symbiote, which had been outcast from the other symbiotes on the planet where Null had created them. They recruited Telkar to be bonded to the young symbiote and modified both Telkar and the symbiote so he could have full control over it. He infiltrated into the scrolls using the symbiote's shape-shifting ability, but got discovered. He deleted the symbiote's memories and separated himself from it. The symbiote then reunited with the parasitic symbiotes while retaining little memory of its first host. When the corrupted symbiotes found out that the symbiote wanted to commit to its host rather than exploit it as they tended to do, they decided that it was insane and trapped it in a canister to be condemned to die on a planet that would later become part of a Beyonders battle world, where it would be encountered by Spider-Man in the 1984 miniseries Secret Wars. In that story, which saw the heroes of Earth transported there to battle their arch enemies, Spider-Man sought to repair or replace his tattered costume, which had been damaged in battle, and was directed by Thor and Hulk to a device in the alien compound that they had come into to use as headquarters. Mistaking the device in which the symbiote was imprisoned for the device Thor and Hulk mentioned, Spider-Man activated, freeing the symbiote, which appeared before him as a black sphere that enveloped his body, taking on the form of the black version of his costume that could respond to his mental commands. From this, Spider-Man assumed that this device produced clothing designed to do this. He did not know that Deadpool had already briefly bonded with the symbiote and had corrupted it with unstable personality. Spider-Man returned to Earth with the symbiote, where after discovering that it was an alien life form that wanted to bond with him, he managed to separate himself from it by using sound waves to hurt the creature, which took refuge in a church's bell tower. It later bonded with Eddie Brock, who went to the church with a despondent and vengeful after his journalism career was destroyed after he incorrectly identified the serial killer known as Sin Eater as a man who later turned out to be a compulsive confessor. A turn of events he blamed on Spider-Man, and bonding with the symbiote, the two became I apologize, my controller died. So yeah, like I was saying about the Carnage, deal. The two became known as Venom. During this time, it spawned 7 offsprings and a clone. Its first child later having 3 of its own. All of the symbiotes being Carnage, Scream, Lasher, Phage, Agony, and Riot. So, like I was trying to explain, like during the movies, you end up seeing Riot, and Riot is played as a war veteran. He is actually a war leader in Venom, and he actually led the war of the symbiotes controlled by Null. So we haven't heard about Null yet in the movies, which we'll probably will in the second one. I don't know for sure because I didn't create the movie, so I don't know all the details. But yeah, so let me review this Carnage outfit, because now that I've got you the backstory and everything like that, I want to actually explain the suit. So what we have here is actually a pretty good Carnage. I'm not gonna lie. He's actually well designed. He doesn't have the the symbiote. Excuse me. He doesn't have the symbol on his back like in the comics or like Venom. So let me explain that. At this point right now, it's before the movie and stuff. There might be another costume that's released. Who knows? I mean, I don't know everything that's going to be released on Fortnite. It might have something new, but we do have another costume too that's going to be released on bonus rewards, and it's actually the first one. It's called Carnage Unlimited. So while you're going through the map, this happens. Like tentacles pop out from your back and everything like that, which is pretty cool, to be honest. Like I like that. Um, but yeah, so Carnage is actually pretty awesome in this story, and you got a back bling. This back bling actually changes during the match, which is really cool. Now watch. First phase right there. And then you got the second phase, which that's when it does the full morph. And then the third phase is actually the biggest. And you got the third phase right there. So it looks pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I really like the way his back bling looks. And then you got, just like Venom, the pickaxe on the arm, and his arm forms a pickaxe. And while I'm doing this too, the back bling is actually changing still, so it's really cool. And you've got his glider. His glider's pretty awesome too, because you know it's just comes out his back and it uses like that. And his tendril drop. The tendril drop is pretty awesome too. I really like that. But what I didn't like about this costume is that they didn't release like a emote for his skin. You know, that would be really cool. I mean, with Venom and everything, you got the actual, you know, emote, which is pretty cool. I like the emote. Yeah, see, Carnage, it would have been better if Carnage actually had that kind of emote as well. But I put stuff like this on it because I thought it was, you know, fitting, at least fitting. But yeah, so that's my review on Carnage so far. I hope you guys liked the video, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe for me. I would really appreciate it. Thank you again, guys, and till next time.